Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading an Arlecchino listener by me. So let's get into it. The sun felt warm on your skin as you strolled through the gardens. And beside you, Arlecchino, impeccably dressed as always, even for a casual walk. Her usual brisk pace had softened to match yours, her gaze, often sweeping the surroundings for threats, lingered on a particularly vibrant rose. A small, almost imperceptible tilt to her lips. It had been months since she had officially moved into the house. Months of shared meals, late-night conversations, and the quiet comfort of your intertwined fingers. You had grown accustomed to the subtle shift in her demeanor. The way her shoulders would relax when you enter a room. The almost imperceptible hum that she'd make when you traced patterns on her arm. The way her crimson eyes would soften. All just for you. Today, however, an unfamiliar tension pricked the air between you, and you noticed her sigh, a barely audible expulsion of breath, as you admired the particularly intricate fountain. Something on your mind, Arlie? You asked, turning to face her. Her gaze was fixed on the water. No, it is nothing of consequence. The words were clipped, precise, a stark contrast to the easy flow of your mornings, and you know her well enough to recognize that tone. It was the same tone she used when she was considering a difficult decision, or when something was bothering her, and she hadn't quite decided if she wanted to articulate it yet. You waited patiently, knowing that pushing would only make her withdraw further. And finally, she turned to you, her eyes meeting yours, with an intensity that, for a moment, felt like the older, more formidable Arlecchino that you'd first encountered, so unfamiliar to the one that you'd gotten used to. I fear, she began, her voice quiet, that I might be growing complacent. You blinked, taken aback. Complacent? You? The idea was almost laughable. Arlecchino, the calculating strategic knave, one of the Tsaritsa's most feared harbingers. Complacent. No, it couldn't be further from the truth. A flicker of something akin to annoyance crossed her features. Do not mock me, Lion. I'm serious. My mind, it is not as sharp as it once was. My focus is wavering, and I find myself distracted. You suppressed a smile, understanding dawning on you. And what, pray tell, is distracting the formidable knave? She took a step closer, her hand finding yours, her thumb tracing the lines of your palm. Her touch, despite the serious topic, was warm, reassuring. You, my dear, you are the distraction itself. Your heart fluttered, but you kept your expression neutral. And how is that working out for you? How am I distracting you? She went quiet for a bit, then decided to confess. I find myself thinking of you. Constantly, frequently. When I should be reviewing intelligence reports, I recall the scent of your tea in the mornings. When I am considering the intricacies of a diplomatic maneuver, I find myself remembering the way you laugh. And when I'm training the younger children, I am less ruthless than I should be. She pulled her hand away, pacing a short distance. This is not good, Mayan. The world of the Fatui, the world I inhabit, it demands a certain ruthlessness, a certain detachment that I must maintain. Emotions are a weakness, and yet, with you, I find all my defenses crumbling. I am softer. The word softer was spoken with an almost painful grimace, as if it tasted foul on her tongue. You stepped toward her, placing a gentle hand on her arm. Arlecchino, is being softer with me truly a weakness? Or is it simply allowing yourself to feel? She looked at you, her eyes unreadable for a moment. In our world, feelings lead to vulnerability. Vulnerability leads to exploitation. I have seen it, time and time again. And yet, you countered softly. You were not exploited. You are cherished. You are loved. By me, by the children. Even if they sometimes fear you. A small twitch at the corner of her lips. They do, don't they? But my duties, they are paramount. My loyalties. I cannot afford to be anything less than absolute. For them. For the house. And for me. You understood her fear. Her life, for as long as she has been alive, has been defined by strength and control, by strategy, by the suppression of anything that could be perceived as a weakness. To open herself up, to allow herself to feel the full spectrum of emotions that came with deep affection, was terrifying for her. That she hadn't yet dared to take. Not fully. Not until you. Being loved does not make you weak, Arlecchino. It makes you stronger. It gives you something to fight for. Beyond duty. It gives you a reason to come home. To survive. To endure. Does thinking of me truly hinder your ability to lead? To strategize? Or is it a comfort? Because to me, when I think of you, it's to comfort myself. She stared at you for a little bit, and she kissed your hand. Perhaps you are correct. Perhaps the softness is not as dangerous as I see it. Though I confess that I do find myself more amenable to sharing my tea in the morning. And as you know, my tea time is absolutely sacred. He chuckled, leaning into her. I consider that a significant victory. She pulled you closer, her arms wrapping around your waist. I believed it was a new restaurant opening here. I suppose in such a time, there is a need for indulgence. And I'm all in for indulgence. Let's go. She squeezed your hand, and the two of you walked forward. You knew the world outside might still be harsh, unforgiving. But right now, Arlecchino did not have to worry about that. She was strong enough to withstand it, and strong enough to be kind. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you later. Bye!